Lisa and Scott Cahill, we were way behind on our videos regarding the failure modes for the Oroville Dam. And I had said originally that there were 4 failure modes. We've made a video on the principal spillway, which is by far the most likely failure mode. We have made a video on the green spot, which is a port, which is going around the left groin, we believe, through the indigenous soils. We're pretty sure of that. And we did that out of a sequence because so much had been said about that area that we wanted to get our information out there to help people as much as we could. The other 2 we're going to try and get done today. The next most serious failure mode that is evolving at the dam is the emergency spillway. The emergency spillway will not be actuated unless the principal spillway fails, which is a somewhat reasonable event. That could happen.
Or in a huge storm event.
Well,
huge.
It would be a really huge storm event that would overwhelm the full open principal spillway and require actuation of an emergency spillway, but that could happen. Some discussion about the rainy season's over and therefore there's no chance of it raining. That's not accurate. Storms happen. They happen at unlikely times. It is quite possible. The storm that would be required to fail the principal spillway would not be a very large storm in the realm of storms, and it could happen. In any case, the principal spillway is the most serious thing. They're starting to reconstruct it from the bottom up because they just seem to be in another universe from me. But I won't get into that. The emergency spillway. Emergency spillway is a large, massive concrete OG weir. It, I guess, is about 30 feet high and probably, I don't know how big it is at the base, and it doesn't matter. It has sufficient mass to offset the rotational and sliding moment from the full pool and the uplift in the event of the design flood going across it. That's all it has to do. The problem with it, as we found out when it was actuated for the first time during the recent storm, is that the soils behind it are very, very erosive. And since they're erosive and since they're so erosive, the cutback erosion in a matter of a very short time, I guess it actuated for about a day.
18 hours.
The cutback was going to take the OG weir out. And so they began venting water down the failed principal spillway again, which is very risky, but it was the better of the 2 bad choices.
Exactly.
So the emergency spillway now, the primary failure mode from it, of course, is cut back from an overtopping. The secondary spill failure mode is from water beneath the structure in a porting kind of a thing, where foundation pressure beneath the OG weir vents to the outside and carries soils down with it. That will be somewhat abated when they put in this cutoff wall and the RCC that they're going to put behind it. But we have some reason to think that there is some porting that goes on beneath that section of the abutting soils, as there is in the left abutment as well.
I also have a little bit of a question about the construction. It's rated from the design documents to pass 350,000 CFS. The emergency spillway is. We saw what it looked like at 10,000 CFS. So even with RCC, which is maybe not the very best material for high velocities.
Well, it definitely is not the best material for high velocities. It's also not the best material for being able to maintain its position, because it doesn't have the strength that concrete has to hold a rock anchor. So RCC has little strength and will erode away under violent water. There are stronger RCCs and weaker RCCs, but generally, and I've questioned the use of RCC a number of times. The money saved seems frivolous at this point. When you're flying rocks in by helicopters, really, why do you care?
Just pour some concrete.
Pour some concrete, right? But anyway, that's my opinion.
Well, the reason that's important is because this theoretical storm that's used with dams, the probable maximum flood, requires it to pass 350,000 CFS in order for it to be in compliance. And I just flatly think it's a fantasy to imagine that even after the construction, that's going to pass 350,000 CFS.
I'll say this about the chances of it passing 300,000 cubic feet per second. That's all I have to say about that. All set?
Oh, I couldn't follow that up with anything.
All right. Thanks a bunch.